A good sequel to anything needs to take what came before and either expand upon it or just do it again, but do it better. In the case of Jedi Survivor, we have a game that somehow accomplishes both, taking the foundations laid by Fallen Order and building something even grander on top of them. I've played about 4 hours of Jedi Survivor so far.
But I conquered it.
And in today's video, I'm going over some of the major improvements that Survivor has made since the first game. It's bigger, it's bolder, and there's so much more content. So if you like today's video, force push the thumbs up button, and if you're new, consider subscribing and getting notified.
Do it.
In Fallen Order, there was really only one way to make Cal stronger, and that was to power him up in the skill tree, unlocking different abilities and boosts that helped him on his journey. But Survivor takes this a little bit further with the introduction of a perk system. Not a lot of us who got to play the game early are talking about this one, and to be honest, I actually forgot about it myself until another YouTuber reminded me of it. Shout out to Twisted Jedi. But this is a great bonus. As you explore the worlds in Survivor, you'll unlock perks that augment Cal in different ways. There's a bunch of them, like one that speeds up your force regeneration, one that gives you increased blocking stamina, and one that I found really powerful that lets you brush off the first hit that you take so that your combo goes uninterrupted. You'll unlock multiple slots for these perks as you play so that you can take more than one with you. But what I found really interesting about this system is that some perks take up more than one slot. The really powerful ones could take up 2 or 3 perk slots, so you'll have to decide whether you want to equip several weaker ones or one really powerful one. It's just another element to consider when settling on what kind of build you want on Cal. Perks are a really nice bonus, but your main method of growth is going to come from your skill trees. The tree in Fallen Order was pretty simple. You had the one tree with branches in 3 different categories: survival, lightsaber, and force. But just like Cal growing in his own abilities, that tree has also grown. It's now bearing fruit, and the seeds they drop have sprouted into many more branches that give Cal a much wider range of power-ups. Survivor actually has 9 different skill trees, which is crazy. There's 1 for survival boosts, 3 trees for your force powers, and a whole 5 additional trees dedicated to just the different lightsaber forms. And a really great feature that I just learned about is that you can remove the abilities you've unlocked to get your spent skill points back, and then you can reallocate those skill points to something else if you wanted to. So, for example, let's say that you've been upgrading your dual-wielding stance, and you have a lot of points invested into that one, but you just unlocked blaster stance, and you want to level that up quick and see what it's all about. By the sound of it, you can take those points from dual-wielding and put them on blaster stance instead, and boom, you've got a brand new stance to play with. I'm loving this level of freedom, and it's really taking the player into consideration, because this way we're not locked into a certain playstyle late in the game because of poor decisions that we made in the beginning. Getting to explore the different planets in the galaxy far, far away was definitely a highlight of Fallen Order, but a major criticism the game got was the lack of a fast travel option to get back to the Stinger Mantis. I think everybody gets PTSD flashbacks of pulling up the map and trying to find your way through the literal hellscape that was planet Zepho, and Survivor has definitely taken that into consideration. There will be a fast travel option this time, but the way it works is between save points. It's exactly like Kingdom Hearts if you're savvy. Any save point that you've meditated at will be quote-unquote unlocked, so to speak, and you can freely fast travel between those unlocked save points. You won't be able to fast travel directly to the Mantis, but you can travel to the closest meditation point and then just walk from there, which is still a major upgrade from the first game, considering there was no fast travel at all. This one will make a lot of returning players happy. Just like virtually everything else, the customization in Survivor is legit next level. It's not anything crazy compared to some other games, but compared to Fallen Order, it is several steps up. Last time, all we had was ponchos, but this time, Cal can change virtually everything about his look, from his head and facial hair, down to his entire outfit. And now even BD1 gets to enjoy some upgrades too. You can swap out BD's optics, his dome piece, body and legs, and of course, just like last time, you can customize the look and feel of your lightsaber, with even a new white blade color that wasn't in the first game. We also can't forget about one of the coolest new features to Survivor, and although we still don't have gameplay of it, your blaster will also have customization options, as confirmed in the pre-order packs. The sheer amount of cosmetic options makes exploring the worlds and looking for them feel worth it now, since we're looking for saber parts, parts for BD, new outfit pieces, and there are even different color palettes that we can collect. You can also apply finishes on your metallic parts, so you can really make your designs unique to you. This level of customization was sadly missing from Fallen Order. I mean, you can tell it's what players wanted when Cal with a mullet has somehow gone viral. High-key, one of the coolest things to come out of this game so far. Fallen Order did a pretty decent job of showing the progression of a Padawan into a fully fledged Jedi Knight. You start the game pretty weak and you get stronger as you go along, and one of the major upgrades you get along the way is the double-bladed lightsaber stance, which doubles your combat capabilities. In Survivor, this will get doubled again with some change. 5 total lightsaber stances make Cal a dangerous Jedi Knight, and 3 of them are completely new to Survivor. We've still got the single blade and double blade from game 1, but now dual wielding, crossguard, and blaster stances are part of our lightsaber arsenal. Each stance has its own stats too, that show what its strengths and weaknesses are. Single blade is your balanced one with equal stats across the board. Double bladed increases your speed and defense, but lowers your power and range, while dual wielding gives you a massive boost in speed and power, but lowers range and defense by a lot. Crossguard excels in power and range, but sacrifices a lot of speed and some defense, while Blaster Stance is all about the ranged attacks. While we get access to all 5 stances, we can only carry 2 of them at a time. We can freely change which 2 are equipped at any save point though, so don't feel locked into a certain combination, but I know players are going to have a lot of fun figuring out which 2 stances they like best. So, I don't know about you guys, and I'm getting a little personal here for a second, but I'm a Lucas fanboy. I hold what George Lucas created as absolute gospel when it comes to Star Wars, and admittedly, I haven't been all that into everything that has come out since Disney acquired Lucasfilm. The High Republic is one example of a new era in Star Wars that I just haven't been all that interested in, but Jedi Survivor is actually changing that and making me consider going back and reading some of that newer material that I've missed out on. Survivor ties directly into the High Republic era, and if you want proof, take a look at this trailer shot. That is the High Republic logo on this guy's robes, which directly implicates that time period. Also, this character, Ravis, is a Gendai, which is a species that can live for hundreds of years. He has definitely seen the High Republic era, and he may have some insight about what happened then. I'm not saying Survivor takes place in that era, we know that it doesn't, but elements of that time period are popping up more and more, and I think this is a great way to get fans invested in the newer material. So if this is some 4D chess move to get me to read Light of the Jedi, well done Lucasfilm, that's checkmate. A new feature in Survivor that expands an older concept in Fallen Order is the gardening mechanic. In Fallen Order, our pilot Grease was a bit of a green thumb. He loved finding new plants across the galaxy, and a small mini-quest in JFO was to find him all of the available seeds to fill up his terrarium. It was a simple quest, just for bragging rights, but Survivor expands on it with a full garden that you can plant your seeds in. These seeds are found throughout your journey, and they're pretty easy to spot by the glowing firefly-looking aura around certain plants. If you cut these plants down, you'll acquire the seeds, which you can then take back to your garden and plant yourself. To be completely honest with you, I have no idea what this is for. Maybe you can make some unique potions or brews using the plants you grow. I know Night Sister Marin could concoct some witchy brews for us. Or it could just be entirely for fun. I wish I spent more time in Rambler's Reach during my playtime. I could have gotten some more info on this specific feature, but for now, we'll just have to wait until the game drops to find out more. JFO had no shortage of iconic enemies. I mean, look no further than this damn frog. This time around, we have a whole new slew of baddies that we get to chop up in Jedi Survivor, including Clone Wars era battle droids, different fauna and wildlife, and a faction called the Bedlam Raiders. B1s, B2s, BX Commandos, and Droidicas are all hype, and we'll even get to fight Sentry Droids and IG-100 Magna Guards, which we've been told are elite enemies that will be tough to take down. The Raiders are a group of mercenaries led by Ravis, whom I mentioned earlier, and they'll probably be a recurring force that we have to contend with. The most recent trailer even showcased some gameplay of a boss fight with Ravis, which looks incredible. Besides the new blood, we still have a lot of familiar faces coming back too. Imperial Stormtroopers, Riot Troopers, Purge Troops, so a lot of the old tricks that we picked up in JFO should still be effective here. And finally, the scale of the story feels so much bigger in Jedi Survivor. Fallen Order was pretty contained. The main objective of that story is getting the holocron with the list of Force sensitives on it before the Inquisitors do, and that was pretty much the only plot point driving the story forward. While I can't get into too many details here, I can assure you Survivor already ups the stakes with several really important plot threads. The world feels infinitely bigger because of a lot of these threads, and there's a certain uneasiness and darker tone that I'm getting from the game. I can't wait to see where the story takes our heroes, especially Cal, considering we're slowly crossing that bridge to the A New Hope era, and Cal is nowhere to be seen in the OT, so fingers crossed we get our happy ending here, because it might actually not happen. What is guaranteed to happen, though, is the release of Survivor on April 28th. We are just a week and a half out at this point. If you guys have any questions about Jedi Survivor, let me know in a comment below. I'll have a Q&A video coming out at the end of this week that will answer a lot of those burning questions, so if you want to get your question featured, be sure to drop it in a comment. Once again, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe and get notified for more Jedi Survivor content. Thanks for checking out the Star Bazaar. This has been Star. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!